Hey guys, it's Nick. Welcome back to Slammer. In today's video, we're going to show you top 5 futuristic products being developed right now. It's past time for some new futuristic products to enter our physical reality. While nature repeats the same old story no matter how huge it is up to man to let impossibilities drop the prefix. Science has provided us with medicines and technologies that would have made anyone's head explode. Text messaging should be explained to someone who relies on the Pony Express for fast communication. We're constantly introduced to great devices, usually after the military has grown tired of just playing with them, nearly on a per-decade basis. Remember the microwave miracle or when the iPod annihilated CDs? We haven't been startled or had our minds lit up with amazement in a long time. So here are top 5 futuristic products being developed right now. Number 5. Nuclear-powered cars. Even though everyone seems to be afraid of nuclear energy these days, it may play a significant role in our future. And one American firm is charging heavily into the radioactive shipping sector. For years, Laser Power Systems (LPS) has extolled the virtues of thorium, a radioactive metal that is mostly responsible for creating heat at the Earth's core. While nations investigate thorium for use in nuclear power plants, LPS has a more direct goal. They intend to construct an automobile engine fueled by a single tiny slice of the radioactive substance. The engine would operate by concentrating the heat emitted by the thorium and using it to convert water into steam, which would then spin a series of microturbines to generate electricity. Thorium is extremely dense, which means it can store a lot of energy. An 8-gram chunk could provide a car for more than 100 years. In other words, you would never have to pay for gas again. That's a future we can all support. Number 4. Laser weapons. A bullet only has so much power. Everything in the future is bulletproof. But a laser, such as a lightsaber, can cut through a foot-thick steel door like butter. In a world of unfettered material consumption, utilizing the destructive capabilities of light rather than mass-producing iron for the sole purpose of transforming it to shrapnel could yield significant benefits. The military budget could even be loosened a couple of notches, which would considerably alleviate the effects of the current economic downturn. Lasers could be exactly what this country needs to get back on its feet. Not to mention when the robotic repo men finally decide enough is enough. Number 3. Teleportation. Aside from how to make neuroses seem seductive, Jeff Goldblum has taught us that teleportation is a dangerous enterprise. At least it is if you're teleporting between two limited locations using reparticularization. I understand that the 1980s sci-fi film is a remake, but his performance is as current as fly hairs on a shoulder blade. His character failed to iron out all the kinks and identify the potential causes of inaccuracy. For example, there are a plethora of microscopic particles in any given location. So how could they be distinguished from those related to man when broken down and realigned? In addition, flies and insects are the most common sources of contamination in any sterile environment. Something tells me he wasn't the most attentive medical student. The Star Trek teleporter, on the other hand, has never had an issue, unless you consider unintentionally moving a tribble on board or inputting the wrong coordinates, which would be the fault of a negligent Scotty rather than the original creator. It goes without saying how absolutely non-existent a problem like traffic or tardiness would become. Yet again, commercial efficiency requires the development of something more feasible than a rolling pollution factory that travels slower than the speed of light. Number 2. Flying cars. The highways are overcrowded, which is why we must begin opening up the skies to traffic. Planes never meet traffic and travel at altitudes higher than any typical passenger would desire, but they are by far the quickest method to get around. The disadvantage is that this regulated commodity necessitates travelers adhering to very strict schedules. Consider consumer air travel on a daily basis rather not simply for business and leisure. Road trips would be much more manageable, allowing folks who prefer not to breathe in other people's sneezes to do so. There will be no screamed babies with flying autos, unless you own one. Of course, everyone and their significant others would have a sky car, and eventually find a way to block the skies, leaving you stranded behind that reckless bastard and the flying Hummer who is hogging all the clouds. Number 1. Personal jetpacks. It's past time for us to have jetpacks. This has been the cry of every futurist since we discovered how awesome they looked. Even a band called We Were Promised Jetpacks exists. The military hasn't found a good use for them other than a fuel-wasting curiosity, and they are not deployed to apprehend fugitives like the Thought Police in Minority Report. they'd cut the ribbon on individual restrictions, permitting lone guys to soar about the sky and national sights like superheroes. The sensation would be similar to the rush a motorcyclist feels on the open road. Now give that same cyclist a third dimension of liberty, and uncontrollable joy will flood the earth, as if there were some kind of sequel to sexual intercourse. A new pleasure dropped from the heavens just to see how it handle it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to click that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to keep up to date with all of our future uploads. But I've been tying knots, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.